Hello, I'm Dr. Quietek. Um, I heard that he doesn't talk to us, and so EMS, can you give me a little bit of information? What happened?
Yeah, so we found Mr. Smith at home. He's likes to be independent, doesn't take a lot of help from the family, but he is an Alzheimer's patient. Family members are always concerned with him being on his own, so they came in. They found him on the floor. They had no idea how long he'd been there. Last time anybody had talked to him was yesterday around dinner. And they were concerned with being a little banged up and that he was a little bit more out of it than normal. Again, his baseline's pretty disconnected, so they brought him right in.
Okay, is that bag, his medicines there that we can look at? Okay, I think the nurse is probably going to go ahead and put that in the computer for us. Perfect. And did you see anything obvious other than this laceration up here and the deformity to his ankle?
No, like you were saying, just the deformity there on his ankle, the laceration there, and then, like we said, the family members saying that he's baseline, he's out of it, but even more so than normal. We couldn't get a lot of responses out of him other than a couple head nods, pretty nonverbal.
Okay, sounds good. Well, we'll go ahead and figure this thing out. I appreciate your help. Okay, so we've got a 6 centimeter laceration to the posterior scalp. Pupils are equal. Looks like extraocular movements are normal. There's no obvious facial droop. I'll take a listen here and take a look at his back. I'm going to sit you forward, sir. Yeah, those lungs sound pretty clear except for a few scattered wheezes and a few scattered rhonchi. And I don't feel any step-offs. We're going to have to leave this collar on until we get a CAT scan there. Heart rate's about 60. There's an S4 gallop. Belly seems nice and soft. That's good. Knees are okay here. Well, he's got this deformity to the ankle. Looks like a dislocation, maybe a fracture there. So we have a lot of stuff we're going to have to get scribed. If you could go ahead and put this in for me. Let's start with the labs. We want a CBC, basic metabolic. Let's go ahead and get a TSH with reflex free T4. I saw somewhere that he's on digoxin, so let's get a digoxin level. And we'll need a urinalysis. We'll get a serum and a urine tox screen. Since he was down for an unknown length of time, we're going to need to get a total CPK on him as well. Let's get an EKG and we'll get a troponin. Don't know if he had some kind of a cardiac event that led up to this. So that plain urinalysis, if I didn't say that yet, make sure he doesn't have a UTI. And then we'll need some imaging. I want a CAT scan of his head and his C-spine. I want a portable chest x-ray. We'll need a pelvis x-ray. And then I definitely want to get a right ankle x-ray. He's going to need a little bit of something to calm down. So go ahead and order up 0.5 milligrams of Ativan IV. And he looks a little bit maybe he hasn't been eating real well. Let's just start some IV fluids. If we can just run normal saline slowly, like 125 an hour to start, and we'll get that going on him. And then we'll go ahead and take care of his injuries after we know a little bit more. All right, EKG. Go ahead and put in that the time of the EKG was 13:02. It was read at 13:06. The rate is 65, rhythm is normal sinus, axis is left axis, there was no ectopy. Conduction, he's got a left bundle branch block, and he's got a first degree AV block. ST segments, some non-specific ST changes, T waves, diffuse flattening, and the interpretation, and no Q waves. Interpretation is left bundle branch block with non-specific changes and first degree AV block. all of which is old for this patient compared to his previous EKG. Okay, now I want to just give you the procedures. So the laceration was 6 centimeters to the occipital scalp. It was prepped with betadine. It was anesthetized using 1% plain lidocaine. And it was sutured using 12 5-0 Prolene sutures, interrupted single layer closure. There were no special procedures associated with that, and no complications encountered.